What's up, everybody? It's Nexus back with some educational videos for you guys. I do want to give you guys some content that will help you guys out and help you if you are a trader or if you are interested in becoming a trader. If you are open to the thought of becoming a student, feel free to reach out. You could reach out to me on Twitter, or you could reach out to me on here. I'll message you back. Nexus at gmail.com is somewhere you could also reach me if you don't want to reach me on Twitter. But anyway, you guys, a lot of people have been wanting to learn how to trade, so I'm going to give that content out. So if you are new to this channel and you like what you see, feel free to comment your thoughts, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications in the future. And also, before I start any content, I always want to talk about God and give God his glory, because God comes first on this channel. And a lot of people say, oh, you can't mix trading and God together. Yes, I can, because God comes first in everything. It doesn't matter, because God said, acknowledge me in all thy ways and he shall direct your path. So this is what God has me to do, and this is the industry that God is placing me in, and there's other things that I'm going to be doing too. So this channel is not just about cryptocurrency, it's about God as well. So that being said, I just want to just ask a question, because I was reading a scripture that made me laugh. And sometimes when I read the Bible, some of the stories make me laugh, not because I'm mocking it, it's because I'm like, wow, this is funny, because some stuff is funny because how it happens. It's like, man, Lord, what would I have done? And I put myself in these people's shoes, and I try to get an understanding on what was their thinking, what made them, because you got to look at it not just from a place of, oh, it's the Bible, oh, this, the word can teach you so much if you look at it and put yourself in the position of these people, because you don't know how you would react if you were put in a lot of these people's positions that are in the Bible. But this one particular story is Elisha, and I will put the scripture in the description box below so y'all can read it or check where to read it at. But Elisha, because I don't want to take too long, but Elisha was had a double portion of Elijah's spirit, which he was a prophet. So Elisha had called was being called baldy by 42 kids, or maybe more kids, but 42 of them were mentioned. So when I was hearing it, I was like, okay, well, where's this gonna go? So they were calling him baldy, and when you disrespect someone that is a child of God, or disrespects from someone that's sensitive to something, usually they're gonna act out of emotion, or they're going to lash out at you. So Elisha, having a double portion of Elijah's spirit, which was a prophet, which he spoke things into existence, he put curses on these children, right? So what happened, he pretty much almost immediately afterwards, two female bears came out and start bawling these kids. And that's what made me laugh, because I'm like, he was, he's got this double portion. Now all of a sudden these kids called him baldy, and then he was sensitive about being called bald. And so I'm like, man, how would I have reacted? Now I'm not bald headed, but I do have gray hairs coming in, and I do have maybe a little bit of balding. So I was like, man, I could relate to this story a little bit, because when people say, oh, you need because I'm kind of sensitive about my hair a little bit. If you don't know, because I wear hats, but I don't know why my hair started, growing slowly. But if men that have receding hairlines or balding, they're very sensitive about that. And any man that knows that has that problem knows. So that's why this story hit me, because I'm like, man, how would I have reacted to this? Because as soon as that happened, he put a curse on them, and then these bears start mauling these kids. So I just want to say, how would you have reacted? And ladies, I know this story might not relate to you, but here's a lesson that you could get out of this. Sometimes we act out of flesh because of how people treat us, or in the moment of things because of we're sensitive to something. But at the same time, you can't always be sensitive to things. You know, sometimes you just gotta learn how to take it. But if it's too much, ask the Lord to be your strength. And sometimes the Lord might instruct you to do something. So you gotta understand what when there's instruction versus lashing out of lash out of being emotional or in the flesh. So that's the lesson or what I wanted to get, give to you guys today. And I just found it funny, that story. And I said, man, how would I have reacted? But other than that, let's jump right into this educational video. I hope you got a lesson out of it. All right, let's go. All right, what's up, traders? We're now looking at the Ichimoku system. This is the entire system. I'm just going to go over the blue line today and a strategy that I like and that I use. Um, it's the Kijun bounce, and the Kijun-sen is the baseline of the Ichimoku system. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and take off everything except for the uh, Kijun-sen, all right? So that's gone, 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 and gone. All right, so now we are looking at the chart pretty much naked, all right? So now we were trying to figure out what am I going to trade? How am I going to trade this? All right, so this is how you would trade the bounce. And let me go ahead and get rid of these lines here. Just extra. All right, now we are completely nude on the charts. So we're just going to be using this blue line to trade. So what you want to do is first on any chart is identify support and resistance. How are we going to do that? You say, okay, so first you want to look left, zoom out, because you want to get the full spectrum of the picture. Zoom out, look left to right. So you want to go as far back as probably 6 months to 2 years, all right? So when you're going back 6 months to 2 years, you want to get your horizontal line, start marking up your support and resistance levels. So here, the top, very top, and how you want to identify it if you want to use fractal candles. I mean, I said fractal candles. You want to use fractals, but yeah, fractal candles, it does make sense now. Fractals that have candles that have fractals on them, all right? So you want to see where they're mostly clustered up. So you see here is a good area in this range here. So we could put one right here. You see it touched multiple times in this area. So we have one, kind of two, three, four here, and pretty much one right here. So we could put one right there. Let's go ahead and look some more. So you got one, two, three, four, five, six, and you got this is a good area here. So now what we want to look for is a bounce on Kijun, and what a Kijun bounce is when price is coming down on it and then bounces up from it, or coming up and bounces down off of it. So you could trade it both ways. The best way to trade it is with price action candles. Those will be your dojis. That will be your tweezer tops and bottoms. That will be your hammer candles and your inverted hammers. So you want to trade out price action candlesticks, and I'll show you, and even bullish or bearish engulfing candles as well. So here's a good example that I see right off the bat right here. So here's an example, and this actually did more than just a bounce. I'm gonna show you. So let's see. This actually would not be a good example because it broke above, then it came down. So that would be more of a break, if anything. Let's go back. Let's go back here. All right, here's a good one. So you see prices coming up, 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 and then we get to this is acting as a resistance line. So this is a moving average that's acting as a resistance, all right? So we could also now label this as a resistance level. So make it a blue line, all right? So now that we have established that, what do we see? Price didn't move higher past this Kijun point. So since it's acting as a resistance now, what am I looking for? I'm looking for price action candles. So here is the price action candle that we could play off of. So this is called a dark cloud cover pattern, price action candle. So what that is saying, it's saying that 50% of this candle was breached. This bullish candle was breached more than 50% or 50%. You see price came up, you would think price is going to go up even higher, but we now know this is acting as a resistance. So we see that price held here and acted as it came down more than 50%. So this is showing us that if we box price in, right there, that's how you would trade this. So let's rewind back to here. So this is our candle that we're going off of. We're waiting for price to break to the downside of this candle, outside of this box. So there's two ways you could trade this. You could play it aggressive, or you could play it, you know, conservatively. The aggressive way, you could put your stop loss here. That's one area that you could put your stop loss, or you could put your stop loss right underneath the Kijun. So you wouldn't take this trade until this candle has closed. You always want to wait till the candle closes to be patient. It shows your patience in the market. So once you waited for this candle to close, you're like, okay, so we have a strong move to the downside. It could be a potential strong move to the downside. Stop loss is here or right above the Kijun. So we know that price is either going to have to break the Kijun for price to continue up, or to break this high of this candle before going up. So now that we established that, as we see our entry, if we're playing an aggressive route, I'm gonna put it green so we could know we're buying. Green, this will be our entry if we're playing aggressive. And if we are going to play conservatively, this will be our break outside the box. If you want, you could also come bring it down to here to break that low. So some people might want to do that to play it a little more safer. So this is where you will put your entry if you're playing conservative. As soon as this candle closes, you could put the aggressive sell entry right here. All right. So now that we established our stop loss, and that now we need to establish where we're going to take our profit at, where are we targeting. So some areas that we can look at, let's zoom out. Oh, my computer wants to be funny today. All right, so there's different areas that we can look at. So we have one here. Another one we could probably put a little closer right here. You see price also was stagnant here. So you see it touched here, touched here, touched here. Now it touched here. So we look further to the right. You see it also touched here. So this is also a good entry. I mean, a good area to take profit. So when you're looking at the next resistance or support zone when you're trading it. All right, so this would be my entry. This would be a target. Another target that I would have, let's clone this. Another target would be here. All right, so now I have two targets. My second target is 321 pips from where my entry is, my conservative entry is. And my first target is 100 and let's see, 64 pips or points, depending on what market you trade, points for my take profit zone. So now that I established where I want to take profit at, based off of strong areas of support or resistance, in this case, this is support and support. So these are areas that I would like to take profit in. All right. So now that I established that, I will let my trade run. So let's go ahead and play it. So you see here that price came down hard, hit our first target, had a little hard time. As you see, it kind of rejected at lower levels. But you see here, it got a little bit lower. Let's go play it some more. It touched target 2. Now that it touched target 2, now we're trying to say, okay, are we supposed to keep in this trade or exit this trade? Let's see what happens. More than likely, you're going to want to exit at this point because we already hit our target areas. But if you want to, play it on the lower time frames, definitely go to the 4-hour time frame, and you would want to see if price breaks this level. Because after your entry, you always want to go and watch your trade on the time frame underneath it. So you will want to watch and see if there's price action to the upside or continue action to the downside. So we're going to continue on the daily time frame. Let's go ahead and play it. And we're still moving down. So this was a good trade. So we went further than we expected. And then you see price didn't want to go up even higher. If we zoom out, let's see, even here. The market leaves you clues on where it's going. You just got to find them. So you see it touched here. If you look back to the past, this area right here, this area right here was touched, right here was rejected, touched and rejected. So the market leaves you clues on where it's going. You just gotta be, diligent and find it. This works on all markets, cryptocurrencies, forex, and also stocks as well. Any asset or any commodity, you could trade it just like this. But if you want to see the fullness of this, let's go ahead and throw the full Ichimoku system on so we can know when to exit our trade. All right, so now we got full Ichimoku on. Let's figure out why we were rejected here. What happened in this red box area? Because always at support and resistance, there's going to be some type of price action. So let's go to the 4-hour time frame. So here we go. Right here. This was the symbol to that price wanted to start moving even higher. We got this piercing line candlestick, price action candle, which made price start slow down. It's the same thing that triggered us, but reversed. This was a bullish version of it. So our dark cloud cover was the bearish version. This is a 50% piercing line of this prior candle. And then on top of that, you see price got exhausted. On the, let's see, right here, we had our hammer candlestick. So price said we wanted to move even higher, and price did as well, move even higher. So if we were to rewind it, let's go back to here. Price is also far away from Kijun right here. So you see price is also starting to exhaust a little bit. So this is how you would trade it. Let's go ahead and put our entry line here above right here. This was where our entry would be. Stop loss is perfectly right here. And let's go ahead and play. So we got triggered in, and you see price started moving up. And you see that our stop loss hasn't even been hit yet. And you see price is consolidating, and now price takes off. All right, so this is one way you want to trade it. That's one way you could trade the Kijun bounce to the downside. Let's look for a trade to the upside now on the Kijun bounce. So let's go ahead and go back to the daily time frame. Let's go ahead and pick another asset. Let's look at cryptocurrencies. Let's look at Ethereum. All right. Let's see if I could find one here. This was a small one, but you would have not taken this trade because you would have taken it right into resistance right here. So that's not a really good example, but it did work out, but not too high though. Here's a good one right here. So let's go ahead and rewind back in time. Boom. So here, so now we have a flat Kijun. When Kijun-sen is flat, that's showing that you might have a chance to bounce to the upside or break Kijun-sen, all right? So when you trade this, you're going to watch it or monitor it on the time frame higher. This works on all time frames, by the way. So let's go ahead and mark it. We already have our support and resistance marked. So that's good. So we already have this marked here. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is go ahead and put our blue line here to represent our Kijun-sen. All right. So we already got our doji candle. So we already know that our doji shows indecision in the market. So how will we play this? We could play one or two ways. You could play it off the daily time frame, box this in, wait till price breaks above this box. So this is the more conservative route. Right here, entry one. If you want to play conservatively, and if you want to play more aggressive, put it at the close, the high close of this doji candle. So if it breaks above this candle's high, then you could enter into the market. All right. So let's go ahead and watch how the trade plays out. And your stop loss, you know, I wouldn't want to put my stop loss here. I probably want to put my stop loss. Let's go ahead and put it to play it safe. I'll probably put it right on the cloud, or yeah, I put it right on the cloud just to be a little safe so I don't lose too much, because it is cryptos. You got to understand the assets that you trade, because cryptos, if you lose in cryptos, it's like losing your house. Not really, but you lose a lot more in cryptos than trading regular currencies. So let's watch and see how our trade played out. Boom. So we got triggered here, broke, and we got triggered here, so it broke. And this is our first target because this is a resistance level. So target one has been hit. At this point, you might want to secure some profit, or you might want to, you know, take out. So our aggressive entry made us 8%. Our conservative entry made us 7%. So either way, you made some good capital gain right there, return on your investment. You could have just exited right here, been done for the day if you really wanted to. Now, when you're trading this on the 4-hour time frame, let's go ahead and look at it. All right, so it looks a little different. So this would have been a Kumo bounce if you were trading it off the 4-hour time frame right here. Boom, taken off. And you got your little hammer right here. So the price took off, but we traded off the daily time frame. You monitored on the 4-hour. So now we're right here. Let me go ahead and put that line on the daily to the 4-hour. All right, so now that we got that done, let's go ahead and look at it on the 4-hour one more time. So this is where we're currently at. So let's see if price was wanting to bounce off this and move even higher. Let's go to the daily now. Let's go ahead and play it. And we moved even higher. So you see that price wanted to go up even higher here. So to stay in your trades, Ichimoku is going to tell you when to exit your trade. The best way to exit your trade is just follow the signs. Once the price breaks past the red line or the blue line, that's when your confirmation is to get out of the market. If it doesn't bounce, because this is the baseline, once this blue line's kind of breached, if you notice, if you watch how the system's used, if you notice, once this blue line is breached, which is your base, the market tends to reverse to the next level of support or resistance, depending on the direction of the market. In this case, let's see where we would go until we take out of this, or until we get out of this market. So right here, you see price broke here. So you could have taken profit here, but we might get another Kijun-sen bounce here. So if it breaks below this blue line, then we're exiting the trade. So let's go ahead and put a blue line here. All right, so if it breaks below this blue line, we're exiting. All right, let's go ahead and play. And we are out of the market. So now that we are kicked out of the market, let's see how much profit we would have made from that position. That's a 30% gain on one trade. That was the aggressive entry, and then this is the more conservative entry. More conservative entry was a 28% gain. So you guys, this is how you would use this strategy. You definitely want to make sure you understand support and resistance levels, because that's how you would use it. And you want to understand how to read the candles. I'm going to make another video soon on how to read these candles, because I think it would help a lot of people. Price action and Ichimoku go hand in hand, and I think a lot of people miss out on big opportunities and big trades if they don't know how to read the candles. All right, that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. God bless you guys, and stay tuned for the next bit of information I give you guys. All right.